What's up, guys? It's been a while. Thank you for anybody that's been watching my videos. I took a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm back here right now trying to do an all Fasttech review. I have reviewed several of Fasttech products before. At least a handful of them at least. But today I'm going to talk about the Kraken Genesis style atomizer and the Nemesis clone. Alright, so let's get right into it. We'll start from the top, so we'll start with the atomizer. So this is the Kraken, Genesis style. It's got dual wick capabilities. This drip tip did not come with it. This is a drip tip from a different atomizer, so let me just remove that, okay? So here we go. So I'll just remove this from the mechanical mod. So here we go. This is filled with some 100% VG juices from a couple of different companies, but you can see there are two air holes, which actually prevented me from, didn't require that I drill out the air hole bigger. I was able to just use the two air holes that were given to get a bigger draw. Alright, so let's, we'll just take off the whole casing at first, actually. We'll take off this top cap. Alright, so this top cap is the adjustable airflow. You can see there are three little scores in there, three little, slots. Alright, so this is so, if you have it, imagine one of the air holes is facing forward, right? Aligned with your wick hole. If this middle one is facing that way, you only have one air hole. But if you have it facing this way, and you can see right through it, right there. That means you're exposing both air holes. So this allows for a lot of flexibility in terms of your draw. You can, use one air hole, and you can, obviously, as you twist it, you can increase or decrease the amount of air that is hitting your wick, right? So there's a lot of customization capabilities in this atomizer. Alright, so let me just insert this back on, and then I'm going to remove the whole top cap. Alright, so I think for that, because it is kind of sealed on pretty tight, let me just screw this on, and I'll remove there we go. Oh, yeah. So, you can see the whole top cap with that adjustable airflow segment, that removes, and I've dropped this atomizer with the mod attached, obviously, a couple of times, not, several times, but a couple of times, and each time this metal or steel guard definitely did protect the glass, because this is a glass tank that we're dealing with. So we'll talk about, what's under the hood right now. Alright, so you see that, I got a stainless steel cable wrapped about 80% with some 500 SS mesh, and I got a 3-2 wrap of 24 gauge Kanthal going on right here. So you can see this, it's about, I think it's about 3.5 milliliters of juice capacity, but you can, I just do these kinds of videos off the cuff, so, pardon me if, some of my numbers are wrong. You could always check on the site if you are interested in this atomizer, which is a great atomizer, by the way. So you can see, everything is sealed with O-rings. There's no leakage at all that I've experienced. You can see that these O-rings on the top, for whatever reason, as I put on that, you can see right there, on that top O-ring, if you can just see, it's kind of frayed. I guess when I remove and place this, the metal housing, it kind of, it does, it's a little bit tight, so I guess it does kind of fray the rubber of the O-ring, but, those are easily replaceable, so this is not a concern, at least for me. I don't know about for other people. If you want very few atomizers, you're going to buy, you're not going to have to replace parts and pieces. I mean, sure, if you want a disposable, yeah, but if you want something to last a while, like I'm talking about several months, maybe a year or two or whatever, you're gonna have to replace things like O-rings and screws and whatnot. So that aside, let's get to the deck. You got the standard center post, and then two negative posts, right? Here and here. Obviously, this is the wick. I believe the wick hole is between like around 2.5 millimeters. Like I said, you double check this. This is just the off the cuff kind of review, and right here there's an Allen screw that's completely flush with the deck that you can remove obviously with an Allen key. So that's in there to prevent excess. You don't need two fill holes essentially, so that's plugging it up. So you can remove that and have a dual wick setup in no time. Here the fill hole is actually right directly adjacent to the wick hole. All right, but I noticed like even when I'm tilting it 180 and even beyond degrees, there's no leakage. So the positioning of the air hole is not a problem at all. Like I said, it's right next to the wick hole. The center post is kind of awesome. It's not spring loaded. It's nothing like that. There's just a solid, metal, steel, whatever material that is, housing, and then there's two washers on top of it. So you got a little metal shaft right there. It's like the metal shaft. Then you got the two washers, and then going through that shaft is a typical standard Phillips head screw. So all these parts are, at least the washers and the screw, easily found and replaceable, from your local hardware store. So I have a 3-2 wrap, like I said, of 24 gauge Canthal, and I do the clockwise and then counterclockwise around the post method. And pretty much by this tank supplying two washers, when you loosen that Phillips screw, you're able to, kind of wedge this the end of your wire between those two washers, and then obviously once you tighten the Phillips head screw, it's going to create a nice flush, even connection. This is one of the easier atomizers that I've had to set up, Genesis style, and I really prefer Genesis style atomizers. I tried dripping and this and that, but you see my videos, you can see my preference for Genesis style atomizers. Rather people and friends have attempted to sway me from Genesis style atomizers to dripping and other kinds of tanks and stuff. But for me, for whatever reason, I just like Genesis atomizers. I like building them. I don't know. I get a lot of life out of them. Recently, this wicking coil setup has been for 2 months. I have an RSST that's running on like 7-8 months without changing anything, and for me it's fine. A couple of dry burns here and there, but yeah, for me, I'm a Genesis guy. And this Kraken right here, clone, I'm sure the original is better. I mean, like anything, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. They do a damn good job, whoever these people from Fasttech, wherever they're getting their materials from. I mean, it's a solid atomizer, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to the original, and the quality, the maintenance, and all that. It's going to be a lot less headache if you're dealing with an original atomizer. And I personally don't even know who makes the original. I just know that the Kraken is kind of a sought after atomizer. I'm sorry, I'm just adjusting this. For some reason, I have to put the shielding on first, and then the top cap, and then screw it onto this. Otherwise, the top cap, the airflow section of the top cap does not, or refuses to fit properly. So all that, yapping aside, getting close to 10 minutes into the video without taking a vape. Let me just take a quick vape, just show you how this performs. And you can see these are short drags. You know, there's no need to take long drags on this. This is a battery that I've been using since yesterday, and it's one of these guys right here. Panasonic. Let's see, the NCR 18650 PD, and I believe, forgot the milliamp hour rating on this, but it's like the gray one, the ever popular, I think the CGR or something, the gray Panasonics. They're very popular in the vaping community. At least, you know, from a few months ago, they were very popular. So I don't know what the scene is like now, but this one is the same thing as those gray ones in my opinion. I have 4 of the gray ones, and these are the same except they have a little bit more juice. They have a little bit more life. All right, so that's the Kraken atomizer for you. It's just a solid one. You know, couple it with a shorty drip tip. Works damn well. All right, so moving on to the mod. All right, it's absolutely beautiful, and I you know, this was like the first combination. I have 4 other mods that I've yet to review. Actually, one's sitting right here. I don't know what this one is. I think it's like the M16 or the Sentinel version 2 or something. It's like a Grand Vapor ripoff mod. Works pretty well. I only used it once, like one session or whatever, but it works pretty well. I'll come out with the video regarding that soon enough, but I have a Bliss clone and something called a Pulse. I don't know if the Pulse is a clone of something, but it has a reduced air chamber. So look out for that video. That's going to come up soon because I'm very curious to see how that works out. It has, like I said, it has a reduced air chamber. It's like a tiny chamber for vapor production and stuff. So I'm imagining it's going to be a warmer vape, but let me just stick on topic. My ADD is getting the best of me right now. But right, so back to the Nemesis clone. All right, so you can see, like, compared to, I've seen pictures of the original, and this is very comparable. The only thing is that it is very subject to wear. Okay, so this middle part right here, if you can imagine, I removed a ring. Okay, so this ring was a top ring that was sitting right there in between this part and this long part, that short little gray section and the steel section. This was sitting right in between those, and I'll explain to you why I removed this soon enough. So this middle part, which is obviously, like, you know, when you're gripping it, this is seeing, you know, predominant, I mean, this is seeing a lot of wear, okay? So this top part, by comparison, this is how both of these looked identical when I got it. So you can see the shine on this, right? Which was this top section right here, which I removed. And this part right here. So it gets worn out, but it you know what? You know when they say, like, antiques, I mean, this is kind of a stretch, but you know when you talk about like a patina or something, you know, getting worn out and having some age, but it's like, you know, it looks nice. It doesn't look, you know, it doesn't look like it's dirty or uncared for. It just looks like it has some age, some use. So that's kind of what I've had, because this has been my go-to setup for the last couple of months, which is why I'm reviewing it now, and which is why I have a lot to say about it. But yeah, there's a lot of wear on this, and it's subject to, like, little cracks, and, you know, there's a little spot there. There's some, you know, if a key hits this, like, I'm sure it's not the best stainless steel, and I'm sure from the original maker, which is, I guess, Atmo Mixani. I mean, they even cloned that, which I mean, that's something with Fasttech I don't understand. Why clone it down to the actual name? They could have left that out. But props to the original maker for this design. It's a great design. But I'm sure the materials that you're going to get from the original is going to be far superior. So if I love this, it's equally, you know, a resounding a statement of support for the original, because the original is going to be better. There's no doubt about it. I've yet to come across a clone that's better than the original. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So whatever I say about this Kraken clone and this Nemesis clone, I'm recommending the original, okay? If you're really strapped, go get the ones at Fasttech, which is what I did, but the original is going to be even better, and I'm thrilled with this. So there's several sections to this Nemesis clone, right? So you got the firing switch, right? It's nice, got a nice loose spring, which you got to tighten up. So pretty much, let me just get down to the reason why I removed this top ring, okay? So I have it in 18650 mode, right? Okay, so battery's out, okay? So right here, you have this little screw that comes out, okay? There's a screw, and if you see, I can twist it out completely, right? So what I had to do originally, when this section was put in place, if you can imagine, this would be longer, right? This tube would be longer. And right now you saw me vaping, and you saw the configuration with this standard 18650 battery inserted. So what I had to do was I had to loosen the screw to the point where it would accidentally dislodge, because it's not a long screw. So I had it like barely thread on so it could accommodate the increased length with this. I mean, just even saying it, I know it sounds confusing, but from my experience, what I found out was if I just tighten that down and remove that section right there, it's a near perfect fit. So pretty much, it's really hard to visualize. It's even harder to explain. But all I'm saying is this is a great mod, okay? But if you do get it and you do have one of these Panasonic batteries, you're better off removing this top O-ring, okay? Or whatever, gasket. It serves no functional purpose. It's just to make the mod longer, to accommodate a bigger battery. So I don't know, maybe other 18650 batteries might be like a few millimeters longer, so you might need this. But I found out that this works perfect. Compared to my hardest hitting mod, which I believe was the Sentinel or the KTS, which are RIP. I dropped them a few times. I lost a couple of pieces, and since then I actually don't even have them. I kind of threw them out. So, but those did hit really hard, and this is probably the second best. Or actually, I mean, it's hard to really remember how it hit, but this is on par with those mods. And yeah, I mean, I could even say, like, when I took this out and put it on my Sigeli, it hit a lot less harder. So let me just take a couple more vapes, and I know this is like one of my longest videos. I'm just trying to get back into making videos, so I apologize. But yeah, let me just take a couple more vapes, and yeah, I'll wrap it up. Maybe say some more stuff, nonsense. But yeah. See, it was smart for me to put some good music in the background, right? Glitch mob. Yeah, it's nice. There you go. Kraken clone, dual wick support, dual air holes. I have it running single wick with the dual air holes on the maximum airflow setting. 100%, 80% mix VG juice. 100% VG, 80% VG. It's two different juices mixed. 24 gauge Canthal, 3.2 wrap. I believe it's a 5 amp battery or a 7 amp battery, which is the standard Panasonic greenies, and Nemesis clone mod. So that's the setup. vapor for days, lasts really long. And yeah, 24 gauge 3-2 wrap. These green panties are putting out a good amount of vapor production. So yeah, I guess that was my wrap up. Let me just take one more for the road, and thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if there's anything you want me to review. Maybe I have it, or maybe I can order it. But I got the M16 clone. I got I believe, whatever this one is. I don't know what this one is. I know the M16 is the other one. This one, I got the SmokeTech Magneto. That one I will definitely review. That one's a great one. And I got this hybrid that's sold on Fasttech. It looks pretty cool. And this one, obviously. So, yeah, that's about 4 more mods. And I got a Pulse Genesis style atomizer. And I got a Bliss Genesis style atomizer. Both of them are clones. Not entirely sure about the Pulse. I don't even know if that has an original counterpart. But I know the Bliss is a clone of the original. So those are some things to look forward to. And yeah, let me know in the comments. Let me know which of those products I just mentioned you would like me to review next. If anybody's curious about it. If I don't get a response, I'll just pick one at random. So, all right, one last one. We'll call it a nice 22 minutes. It's great. All right, guys. Enjoy vaping.